What is happening, everybody? It is Ian Katanak, aka the Renegade Writer from ConsciousWritersTribe.com and The Morning Pages Work. This video is an extension of my Artist Way series, which is a 12-part series on one of the best books on unlocking creativity, The Artist Way. And the main tenet of The Artist Way, the main way Julia Cameron recommends that you, yes you, the writer, the artist, the creative genius, unblock their creativity, is the morning pages. And the morning pages is a tool that you do every single morning. Every single morning you wake up and you write 3 pages. And this is a hard one. This is a hard habit to keep up. And most of us have this ideology. We've been taught that because I think it in my head, I know it. Because it's in my head, I know it. And that is a false presumption, because once you start writing these thoughts out and letting them flow and you see them objectively on paper, they're going to mean a whole new, the whole definition of that idea, that memory, that relationship is going to change. I remember at one point I was doing this when I was in a friendship, and I was writing down how this friend was treating me. And once I had it on paper, I was like, this person always talks down to me and like makes fun of me. And I always thought in my head, like, oh, that's kind of weird, man. That kind of doesn't make me feel good. But once I like wrote down all the instances, I was like, fuck this, fuck him, I'm out. And being able to just let things out gives them a reality, because if we are in a co-creative universe, maybe the simulation, maybe the simulator, God, nature, whatever you want to call it, doesn't know what's happening inside your head. That is a possibility. I call this the simulation wager. It's like Pascal's wager. If you don't know what Pascal's wager is that a philosopher named Pascal, the basic idea is that it's better to believe in God, because if you believe in God and God isn't real, then whatever. But if you don't believe in God and God's real, you're screwed. And this is the Christian version of God. Like the real God with like the spiritual, genderless, ever-present energy all around us, doesn't give a fuck about like petty shit like that. But that's a different story. And that's what I feel like with this situation is, what if that ever-present energy can't get inside your sentient head? Then the only way to get it out is through speaking, is through writing. And most of us are scared to speak our dreams in full because it's a private matter. And the morning pages help you create that, that solitude, that private area. And if you want to go really ham, you can shred your morning pages. I did that for a while because I just felt uncomfortable about what I was writing, about what I was feeling. It was so raw that I was like, I don't want anyone to find this. And so I shredded it, and it made me feel better. It made me go harder, or just, throw it away after you're done with it. And so the theory behind the morning pages, if we want to get a little bit deeper, is yes, it helps get it out of your head, but it helps create flow. And the greatest weapon against resistance is flow. Trauma theorists such as Otto Rank, George Luckhurst, and the last name Lyotard, French guy, theorize that when psychic or physical trauma happens to us, our body shut down at some level because we can't intake anymore. And certain parts of our soul or our body start to freeze. And because I'm a yoga teacher, run a yoga website, savvyzen.com, everybody, I understand that frozen aspect, frozen muscles, and releasing certain muscles will connotate a certain reaction in the body. And the only way to make it flow, to make something flow in a psychic sense, is through art, any form of art. And one of the classic ways is writing. And that's what the theorist Otto Rank theorized. Otto Rank was Freud's secretary and Freud's protege. And in his book, Art and the Artist, by the time you see this, I'll probably have a huge series on this, so go look for that, Art and the Artist, the creative urge and personality development. He theorized that Freud, Jung, all these people were just enabling people to just stay in their trauma and stay in their neurosis. He said, we need to fuck the dreams, fuck this, fuck that. We need art. We need some action. You need to start moving something within yourself. And the morning pages stand as a habit that you can do every single morning that create that flow right off the bat. If you do it immediately, there isn't going to be for the rest of the day, you're already going to be in that flow state. But if you wake up and you do stuff and you say, oh man, at 2 p.m. I'm going to write. After work, I'm going to write. After work, I'm going to create whatever. A lot can happen between 7 and 2. A lot of bullshit, a lot of people, and a lot of stuff will bring you down. And that brings me to my third reason to do the morning pages is the negative fucking programming that surrounds us. Every place, this is one of my favorite, I just keep saying this all the time because it's one of my favorite things, is there is the worst conspiracy of all. It's not 9/11, it's not JFK, it's not whatever, it's not the reptilians. It's that everywhere you go, you see billboards, you see advertisements, you see money everywhere. And what does that trigger in your brain? That you're not good enough, that you need this. Every billboard, every advertisement, every single person you talk to asks you, what's your job? There's judgment everywhere. But how often do you hear from a random stranger in your life, or even from close people in your family, you are the best. No one is better than you. You can ascend to heights that no one could ever dream of, that you could never dream of. You got this. What are your goals again? Oh my God. Then people give you real positivity. How often do you hear that from the TV? How often do you hear that? You don't. You have to go to YouTube motivational videos to hear that. But you can give that to yourself through the morning pages. You can create that positive environment and that positive reinforcement. And that's the greatest conspiracy of all, that no one tells each other, I love what you're doing. What are your goals? You can do that. Whatever I can to help, I will. If everyone was doing that, cancer, environmental problems, all that would be gone within a few years. But instead, we stay in our little boxes. And it's funny because it's quarantine and, we probably should be staying inside, but we stay in our little boxes. It's so easy to stay in the frozen state. And I'm telling you right now, if you're not taking these morning pages seriously, if you're not doing something every single day to create that flow, writing, speaking, whatever, you are not giving what you can to the world. You could help millions of people right now. So everybody, that's just my basic analysis of the morning pages. Just a quick few other things. You got to write it out. The computer doesn't get the same feeling. Computer people, I'm a computer person, but like when I'm in computer mode, that's a totally different feeling than creative mode. I can write fiction on the computer, some poetry sometimes, blog articles, but sitting down and like getting my thoughts out, the flow of the hand is great. One other recommendation is fountain pens, everybody. Fountain pens are great. If I come walk right over here, I have a disposable. So I like using real fountain pens, but if you can't afford, $50, $60 fountain pen, Pilot makes these portable fountain pens that you get 6 for like $11. And they last for a long time, and they just change the whole feeling of the writing. You feel like you're writing something majestic and beautiful. So I would recommend fountain pens. I would recommend doing it by hand. And, put the phone away or put on some light music and put it on airplane mode and just relax. Don't stop. Usually on the third page is when all the real shit starts coming out. If I go read my morning page, I've been doing the morning pages I started years ago, 7 years ago, and maybe 5 or so. I can't remember exactly. But if I read my morning pages from back then, the real stuff was in the third page. The first page was just like me talking about sensations. Like, man, that was awesome. Whoa, like that was a really good, that marijuana really hit, or wow, that was an awesome day. But by page 3, I'm like, why am I smoking marijuana every day? What is wrong with me? And those revelations start coming out. Then I start listing 20 ways to stop smoking every day. And then it always, at the very end, when you feel like you can't go any further, that's when the breakthrough happens, everybody. I just want to say that I support your creativity. If you have anything to say to me, email me, comment down below. I will give you more positive reinforcement, because that's what I'm here for, to spread knowledge, to spread love, and to experience the creative flow and ebb. Peace out.